Hey guys, it's Thomas here, and I'm giving you an update on the DIY Chaeto reactor I built in the last maybe 2 videos ago. I say last, but I don't remember what happened because I've got another baby coming. I've got a toddler, and my wife's pregnant with my now son, who is due very, very soon, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So everything's really hectic, and I haven't really had a chance to stay on top of the video stuff. But I've tried to get a little bit of footage here and there as I worked on the Chaeto reactor. Unfortunately, nothing of it actually disassembled, but I do have a great picture of the last time that I opened it up for maintenance. I threw out this gigantic block, essentially, of Chaeto. So there's a picture there for you. And all in all, it's working great. So the Chaeto reactor itself doesn't really get very warm. I can put my hand right on these diodes while they're on. It's nothing but warm. And that's because the diodes are actually pressed right against the acrylic, which is full of water from the aquarium. So that's what's keeping them cool. I know a few of you have expressed concern over how warm they get. They really don't get hot because of how they're set up. So that works really well. You're not gonna have any issues with heat. As far as this particular set of LEDs goes, I've been running them for almost a month now. I haven't had any issues in terms of the ballast for the LEDs or the LEDs themselves. Haven't lost anything. I know they're cheap Amazon LEDs, but so far they're doing their job. I'm using a 160 gallon per hour pump to run the actual Chaeto reactor directly from the display. The reason I have it set up here and not down by the sump is because I'm going to eventually be swapping the sump out on this system. And while I have that sump shut down and out, and I start to get everything ready to be plumbed for the new sump, and then everything has to cure once it is plumbed, this system's going to be running basically just with power heads and that Chaeto reactor, which is one of the reasons why I built it. So while I do that upgrade, the system's going to be running pretty much solely off of that. And like I mentioned, my next baby's on the way. I know I'm going to have very little time to work on anything while I'm helping my wife take care of the toddler while she's, nursing our newborn. So I've got a dosing system set up on the tank. This is an old SWC triple dosing system. It's very similar to like a Bubble Magus dosing system or like a K-More dosing system. So that's just to help keep everything in the tank balanced while I neglect it. I'm going to try to do a weekly water change essentially, but I don't know how that's going to go. So basically, Chaeto reactor doing a great job. For a simple build, it's doing exactly what I expected it to. I can't compare it directly to, say, the skims in some Chaeto reactor or macroalgae reactor, whatever you want to call it. And I can't compare it to the arid reactors. And that's because I've never used either of those. So I can't exactly give it a fair comparison. But what I can say is this definitely works. What I was using before was a high power LED system. I was actually using the Aquatic Life Halo on the sump with that center chamber, which was acting as the refugium, full of Chaeto, and it grew very fast, constantly full of bubbles from photosynthesis, and the Chaeto was floating. I've got the exact same thing going on in here, just on a slightly smaller scale. So the LEDs are definitely providing enough power to create that rapid growth, which is going to increase nutrient intake. So essentially, the Chaeto is going to be pulling out as much as it can as it photosynthesizes because it's got enough light, and it's always full of bubbles when I look inside there. I mean, it's really hard to see into it because the Chaeto is so thick right now. If I turn the light off, which I will in a second, you'll see it's pretty much black, and that's a clear reactor, so you know it's packed. I actually have to work on it again. I just don't have time to do it right now, and I didn't feel like making you guys wait any longer for a review because, or an update rather, because you've asked more than a few times now for an update. So this is me giving you that update. I hope if you guys have done this Chaeto reactor DIY on your own, you give me some feedback. Let me know how it's working for you, what LEDs you used. I know some people want to use all white. I personally went for the hydroponics LEDs because they're peaking on those photosynthetic spectrums for plants specifically, so somewhere around 440 and again somewhere around 660. Those are the two peaks. And I'm really impressed with it. So far, happy. No issues at all. And the next video I do will hopefully be a kind of review on the Fragfuge reef sump that was covered on Reef Builders. It was also covered by, I believe, Danny Reef, which is, I think it's an Italian reefing blog. This is a sump that I personally worked with ProClear Aquatics on building. So it was my design. I said, hey guys, I have an interesting take on your 4-in-1 system that I would like to utilize. And what ended up happening is Big Al's, once they saw the sump, picked up the design, so they're exclusively going to be selling it in the US, I believe in Canada as well. So I'm going to do a review on that sump, which is actually right kind of in front of me here, which is why I keep looking at it. But I'll turn the camera around so you can see that in just a second. So I will be doing a review of the Fragfuge Reef Sump shortly, give you guys all the information on it, how it's basically set up to work, and why I designed it the way I designed it, because it comes standard with a frag rack in it, and I will explain that later. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I answered all your questions. I know you guys had a lot of questions regarding this Chaeto reactor build. I'm really hoping that I was able to cover all that for you and give you an idea of how well this can actually work for something so simple. All right, guys, keep on tanking. Chaeto, Chaeto, Chaetomorpha, Chaetomorpha, Chaeto, Chaetomorpha, Chaeto, Chaeto, Cheeto, Cheetomorpha, Morpeha. I'm just gonna call it Chaeto because I've been calling it Chaeto forever, and it's gonna be hard to stop. So thanks.